I do this every time and I forget my earbuds. Hopefully you can hear me. I'm not going to run upstairs to get them. What do you think? In my quest to do more lives and to show how crazy my hair can be. Wow, what is up? I just took it down from a ponytail. I wanted to do a quick live. If somebody jumps in, we'll talk about, answer questions or talk. But if nobody does, I just wanted to do this to show you things that were very important in my processing. So when I first started out, I was in a different home with a massive basement and a little table for processing. So I moved here, I downsized, and my area is smaller but taller. I went to shelving, and my processing area is still pretty small. And I'll show you that here in a minute. But I wanted to show you some of the things that I use. And you know what, now that I'm just kind of looking at this. Y'all, get yourself some of this. Get yourself a business card, okay? You don't need a million of them. I think I had 50 made because eventually you are going to have to, seriously, you are gonna have to give a business card out. When you get to the point when you're not intimidated and you know a little bit more about what you're doing and you tell somebody, yeah, I'm a reseller. Here's my card. If you ever have anything, I've given out, honestly, 5 of these maybe so far. But when the opportunity arises, they're in my purse. They're in my crossbody that I carry when I go thrifting. And I do this not for people to connect with me, but for people who are trying to clean out closets, people who having garage sales, estate sales, you know, make connections. That's what it's all about. That's what I'm doing here with you guys. I'm making connections. And so that's it. I have Soho Posh, high-end clothing reseller, my name, my Gmail, and my phone number. I was hesitant about the phone number, but you know what? People have to get a hold of you somehow, right? So, where shall we start? Let's do some of the doodads and things like that. This is something that not a lot of people have. Why would I have crayons in my processing area? And this isn't the biggest collection, but this was one that worked for me. So many times when you are selling an item and somebody goes, is that teal or is that green? Well, usually everyone has some sort of crayon around. If they can't, they can run to the store and buy one. I think this was like $4. And you take out the crayon that you think so matches. Let's see, am I close? No. Come on, work with me. And you work and you find the color that is closest to the color. And I'll be honest, this was a bad example, but that's not too bad. It's darker, but it kind of gives the shade of what these are. I just sold these. So, and this is called blue-green. So they have an idea of what color the item is, because so many times between pictures and processing and lighting and everything else, and by the time you process that picture and then you put it on wherever, eBay or whatever, it has gone through so many transformations. That color is not always right on. And sometimes people are looking for a specific color. So get yourself a box of crayons. It always helps. I don't use it a lot, but I do use it. Tape guns. You need a tape gun. I have 2. I probably picked up one at a garage sale somewhere. It has my regular tape and my eBay tape. Oh, I can't even tell you. Every day I use these. Every day. Let's see. These babies. Excuse all the dirt. So, lint remover. This is called the magic brush. And it's a pretty cool tool. For, like, you know how sometimes hairs and things like that just won't come off with a lint brush. And this works one way or the other. and you can feel it in the bristles, and you brush it, and sometimes you have to brush it and brush it again and whatever to get it all out. And of course you all know what a lint roller is. Absolutely, positively need these. This is a sweater shaver, and I cannot tell you, it just makes, like, you know how clothes get that, like, the little balls of material, wool, whatever. It just goes right away. It's amazing. It makes it like brand new, especially on some of the areas, you know, like under the arm. Sometimes you'll see it, or in between the legs. Yeah, and it's done. It is done and done and done. I actually have 2 of those shavers. Wipes. Always have wipes handy. Sometimes there's just that little spot, you know. What I do with my wipes when I first get them is I leave them open for about 2 days. That dries up a lot of it so that they're not soaking wet when you want to use them. You don't want it soaking wet, especially if you're trying to get something off of like a piece of like silk. You know, you want to gently dab it. And then of course you're not going to be able to take pictures for a minute because it has to dry. Do you know what this is? I was kind of against this. Not against it, but I just kind of thought, I don't need this. So this is a box resizer, and it's pretty cool. So how it works, say you have a big box, and you need to downsize it because you cannot find the right size box to fit that item you just sold. You just put this on the, let's see if I can show you kind of fast. I don't know if I'm going to put this together, but so let's just say, can you guys see this? Let's just say this is the box. Can I move you down a little? I don't know. And you put this on the top, and it has this little, and what it does is, say you want it there, you take it and you just move it, and it indents so that you can easily bend your box over. Now what I see a lot of people do, I don't do this, they bend their boxes over, and then they just kind of overlap, you know, like a normal box looks like this. But if you use the box sizer, these flaps go in more and more. Number one, that's extra weight. I don't think it looks as well. So I always kind of try to cut those off. Why not, right? Oh, bags and bags and bags. I picked this up the other day. I haven't used it yet. So it is another lint, but it's like a washable one. Picked it up at a garage sale. I haven't used it yet. It kind of just sits here. Put it somewhere else. So, bags. We talked about bags yesterday. I only have 2 sizes of bags. Of these bags. The larger one, what is this? I believe 14 and a half by 19. I use this for coats, heavy sweaters, robes, sometimes purses, things like that. This one is a smaller one, 14 by 11, I think. This I use for almost everything. Pretty much everything that I sell, I use that one for. And you can get them in a lot of fun shapes and colors. And like I said, if you go to my link tree, I have like links to all of this. But I use primarily you pack and save or pack and ship. Now that I'm on camera, I can't remember anything. Find rolls of paper. I try to find mine, of course I do, at garage sales, estate sales, Goodwills, thrift stores, just because I'm saving money. This is actually drawing paper. And what I use this for is my shoes. You don't need a lot, you need a little bit. And it just kind of gives a little bit of security for your shoes so they're not like rubbing together. So you want to get yourself some paper. Of course, your priority mail, you're going to want some bubble mailers. I get these. I told you about that yesterday. Get these off of eBay. Because sometimes you can just ship something and all you need is a bubble mailer. You know, you don't need to go through and put it in a box. A lot of purses, wallets, things like that can go in bubble mailers, believe it or not. Let's see. Handy dandy scale. Get yourself a scale. This one I have had for a couple of years, and I like the ones now that I see that people have, like it's an external, like this separates and you can put your item on it, but the weight is like out here somewhere, and that comes in so handy when you're like a box is awkward or bag or, you know. And I've seen people, so I've seen people put, can you see that? There you go. Put a bowl on here, and then when you put it on and then you click that button again, it'll zero it out. And that way everything you put kind of goes in the bowl, and you get the accurate weight, but you have the security of the bowl in there. Aw, did I mess that up? I did. There we go. I keep a bunch of these on hand. These are priority mail. You get these free from UPS. I order a lot of UPS boxes, the priority ones, and I keep them on standby. Do not turn your boxes inside out or wrap them in paper and try to mail them as ground. Don't do that. The post office will not like you. They will not. And you will hear about it. So don't do that. Also, do not mail things that are not media in media boxes. It's just not right. Don't lower your standards. Don't do that. But I keep these on hand because sometimes the priority boxes, oh yes, this is one. The priority boxes come with this. This sucks. I don't know how anybody keeps stuff together. I will put stuff in here, and by the time I've turned it to the other side, this has already come loose. So I just keep these, and I just put an one on each side, extra security. I don't want to have people lose I do not want to lose items in the mail. So I'm going to have to take you off of here. I don't know if I can turn you around while I talk or not to show you the other thing. I should have done the meta glasses. Oh well, too late for that. Another thing I use, right here. This is the best investment ever. This was over $300. Oh, gasp, I know. But it has been a beast. And it does all my printing. And of course you saw like all my, how do you do this? My gosh, there they are. Whoop. Pencils. I've got glue. I've got business cards for my other business that I take care of. I've got my encouragement. I put a lot of stuff up here. Now, right here is where I do all my photographs. And I'll let you see this room. It's very small, but I've got my lighting. Now remember, I used to be a professional photographer. And so this is just leftover lighting from my photography days. And this works excellent along with, and I'm not going to show you, but up here I have one white light up here that I've got my lighting all covered, and it looks great. This gray background I got from IKEA. Now my board is a lot bigger than 4x4, but it works for me, especially with longer things that I have. It's kind of set up kind of wonky. I wish I could turn this around, but I guess I can't. But it works. It works for me. But if we go around the room, this is just the beginning. Actually, this is where it started when I moved here. And one thing that I did, I like the bins. I'm all about the bins. Number one, because I don't like bugs. And not that I have any, but if I do have any, I don't want them getting in my clothing. So I like the bins. And last year in January, I did all of these. I did all of those. And then I'm going to do the other set. There we go. I did these. I'm going to do the other set in January of this year. And I go through each and every one. I make sure what I have is listed. If I have something listed that's not here, I also pull out stuff that hasn't sold, I don't think will sell. I bundle it. I do pictures again. I just kind of refresh the whole thing. It would be overwhelming for me to do all of my bins. I have over 120 bins. So I do about 15 to 17 at a time. I had a window, but I used that frosting spray. Now I'm kind of like, I miss being able to see outside. But I also don't like the fact of if I'm in here working at 3 o'clock in the morning, nobody can see in, even though I have curtains, but I'm even thinking about getting rid of those because whatever. And of course I showed you all of my setup and everything that I use here. I also have a, how do I do this? Air purifier. And that's about it in here. And then if we go out here, Alexa, cave on. Okay, come out here. This is the rest of it. And we just go round and round and round we go. That broke. It made me so mad. I think it was probably because of weight. And I use everything here. And I'm actually thinking about buying another red shelf to put here. But I just don't know yet. I don't know. But that's kind of it. That's everything that I use in here for my processing. And besides my crazy hair day. And I thought I'd just do a live and I would show everybody what I use and what I need. I have the first eBay bear that was given to me. I've been on eBay that long. But like I tell everybody, I didn't take it serious till a few years ago. Get up there, bear. And that's it. That is what I use. And you know what? Don't run out and buy everything today. Do what you can. Do with what you have. And I would just grow as you go. I didn't buy everything. In fact, the Brother printer, I won a grant from Poshmark. And that was one of the things that I bought with the grant was the Brother printer. And then I bought some paper goods. I did buy these, and I don't do them as much anymore, but Unforgettably You. And I usually write a little note in here, but I haven't used these in a while. Maybe I should get back into that. And that's it. That's what I use. That's all I use to process, you know, besides the normal, whatever, pencils, scissors, stuff like that. My computer for my sanity when I'm down here. I have Alexa out there and she plays me 70s music because that's kind of what gets me going. And that's it. And then later tonight, I will be, Alexa, cave off. I call it the cave. I will be, let me show you. This is, oh, it's dark. Hey. If anybody watches Justin Resells, he always does this thing where the camera goes off and then he talks about fun things that are happening in his life. But I come out here to the last of it. And this is basically purses, shoes, Facebook stuff that I'm selling, hard goods that don't need to be like in the house or whatever. And this is where I'm going to be because this is down here. This is where I start to process it all. I have some things that need to be processed. I put them on here. They go inside. I take pictures of them. They go into bins. And then they go out the door because I sell them. And that's it. So, I wish I was. I am not. I am on a travel hiatus. When I retired, it's like I have to be like kind of really serious about eBay, and I don't want to take any time off. So that glare is crazy. There we go. A little bit better. So no, are you going? I know I heard Surf's Up's going, but I'm not going. I'll bet K-Way's going. K-Way should go. They should pay K-Way to go. And I am not a fan of Las Vegas. I don't like it. I didn't like it. I wasn't impressed at all, which I guess sounds kind of bougie. I don't know. But I really wasn't. I went a couple years ago with a friend. He has family that lives outside of Las Vegas. I'm trying to remember. Podump? Podump? Something like that. And so we would go and stay with his family, and then we would go into Las Vegas. Yeah. No, I didn't like it. But are you going? I don't know. Where's my foundation? But I'm telling you guys, I'm going to do a live every day. I don't care if I come in here and just say, hi, it's hot. I don't know. I'm going to do a live every day, and I want to build up an audience, and I want to answer questions, and I want to help people, and I don't care. We'll talk about my son, my grandson, who is graduating. He has graduated, in fact, and we are doing his open house Sunday, so that is done. I don't know if it's a level or not, though. Hold on, did I pick that up? Yeah. I don't know if it's a level. I mean, I think you can learn a lot. Like, even like people just starting out, and think about the connections that you could make. That would be amazing. But I can't. I haven't been home in a long time. So I kind of feel like if I don't go home, I can't like kind of, you know, go and do other things. Hold on, I'll put you right here. And I didn't put my earbud on, so I don't know how I sound. But I can do it now, I think, if it doesn't hurt anything. So I'm connected. So actually right now I am working on a tea blog, because you guys know that I do that. It's a little side hustle that I kind of abandoned a couple years ago, but I'm trying to pick it back up again. And I have my flip running, and I just sent out some offers, and now I'm gonna probably do some follows. There we go. Follow and unfollows, and see how that goes. But other than that, that's it. It's a short one today. No, I don't know. I don't know. I think you could. I think anybody could. I think that if you had the means to go to Las Vegas, you should go. I don't care whether you're a little itty bitty seller, or a great big one. You know, I just think it would be beneficial. Poshmark just sent me, and I laughed. I said, they're digging at the bottom of the barrel. If you are interested in being a speaker at their Posh thing, yeah. I do not know enough to be a speaker. Like, I'm an itty bitty baby starter, you know, and I don't have a big format. I definitely don't have a big following, so no. Let's save that for the people who have done the work the last 5, 6, 7 or more years, and they can teach me. I've been following this guy. He sells shoes, and I absolutely love his personality. I'm gonna try to find him real fast. And the stuff that he has been saying about, you know, like reselling and, why did it change? Oh, because I'm on the wrong thing. Why did it do that? Switch. There we go. Let me see if I can find him. It's sad because I don't always know people's names. I think if you can go, you should go. I think everybody should go. I really do. I definitely am going to watch some of it. Sometimes it, I don't know, they draw it out sometimes, and I'm like over here like, you know, and sometimes I think people should just share from their heart and not a script. I don't like people who share from a a script. Let me see if this is him. Not him. Where did he go? See, I just watched one of his videos now, so I'm not going to be able to find him. If I find him, I will share it. No. This lady hasn't shared in a while. Miss Lachey Resell. She walks around her block and talks about the books that she's selling. It's kind of cool. It's so funny looking at some of the things I follow. But how about the history? Boom, maybe I can find him there. It's like the same people over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, I can't find him. That's just bleh. But anyway, he sells shoes and he has a very down-to-earth attitude, and the way he deals with issues that come up and things like, I just love the way he deals with things. He's just like real basic and real just, this is just how it is. So, but I cannot find him. That's weird. But I almost walked out of everything. So I think I did too. It seems like eBay and Poshmark are like kind of doing things at the same time. So I don't, like, sometimes I'm in a hurry and I'll sign up and then I'm like, was that eBay or was that Poshmark? I don't know what I just signed up for. And I know Poshmark is doing its sign up for its Posh event as well. And theirs is it in Nevada? I really was thinking that they were going to do something more centralized, and I think it's in California, and I was kind of disappointed in that because I was hoping that it was going to be more, you know, Colorado or someplace like that where more people could come in instead of doing it on one coast or the other. I don't see anything on here about it. What's it called? Poshmark Live? I don't see anything. Striking zeros on that. But yeah, I mean, last year, what, Ethan who sells shoes, he was on there. And I would love to see K-Way. I mean, he's got a lot of stuff that he can share, tons of experience. And maybe he is, I don't know, but I would love to see him on there. But who knows? How were your sales this weekend? I had a really good weekend. I'm really surprised. I took them all to the post office this morning, and then I went and volunteered. And I learned about Vera Bradley bags that, you know, the one to have all the print and stuff like that. That's like not a big deal, but I did not know that there's a higher end Vera Bradley that is more like the pebble leather, and usually it's in blacks or browns, and I didn't know that. So I learned something new. That's why I like volunteering there, is because I'm around a lot of different things and I can learn, you know, because I learned there while I'm volunteering. And I was lucky enough to get put in the accessories department. So that means handbags. It also means socks and scarves and hats, but I like being around the handbags. And there's a guy there, he knows a lot about handbags. And it's funny because I'll pull some things out that the brands I don't know, and he'll be like, yeah, that's not gonna be anything. That's just some, you know, young girl brand. And I'm like, no, I feel this is something. I'm usually wrong, but I'm learning as I go. So I'm gonna go because I don't know, it doesn't show me how long I've been on here talking away, but I just wanted to show everybody what I do, what I use. And I'm going to double check my link tree to make sure I have everything in there. And I'm not saying you have to buy it from there, but it can definitely direct you to the right thing. And I noticed that, okay, wait, it's so funny. I thought about the button helper probably about 2 days before I saw him talk about it. And I was like, are you kidding me? I just thought about that because the ladies at work have to unbutton and button shirts all day long. And I thought about that because the only reason I know about it is because older people, you know, when their hands get arthritic or whatever, they use that, you know, to help button their shirts and stuff. So I'm going to add that because it's a great tool. You know, I don't mind buttoning shirts right now, but who knows? Who knows down the road? You never know what will happen. All right, guys, girl, foundation, brick. You're my brick. There you go. I'm going to go and I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. What am I doing tomorrow? I got to go to Menards and then I got to go check out the haul for my grandson. I'm not doing any Goodwill thrifting. Monday I am going to my super secret place. And I will be going there on Mondays in June for sure. But I'm not going to Goodwills. I'm not doing a whole lot of thrifting because I'm going to focus on garage sales, estate sales, and yeah, that's it. So you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. If you are hitting this up on the replay, tell me your favorite tool for thrifting. Talk to you later. Bye.